Simon Smith last updated 1651, September 21, 2017. The new natural burials area is a cheaper option for interment at Waikumete Cemetery. The popularity of do-it-yourself funerals is rising at the country's largest cemetery. It is possible these days to ditch the funeral director and do pretty much everything except dig the hole at Waikumete Cemetery in West Auckland, head sexton Sherry Stout said. It's still a minority, but we are getting a lot more inquiries than we had been getting in the past. Sherry Stout in front of plots marked out in Waikumete Cemetery's new natural burials area. Such services were called familial, and people were able to transport the body in their own vehicle and store it at home for a while before taking it for burial or cremation. Read more package deal funerals may bump up costs. Christchurch woman calls for New Zealand funeral industry to be regulated. Robot for hire program to perform Buddhist funeral rites. Caskets were also possible as long as it was approved by the cemetery. A casket could be as simple as a shroud bearer board with a footrest. The military section at Waikumete Cemetery. With different lifestyles come different ideas about how they would like to be treated in death, Stout said. The main restrictions for burials were that the cemetery must dig the plot and the proper legal paperwork must be completed, Stout said. Familial services were not for everyone or every situation, however. An example grave marker for John Snow at Waikumete Cemetery's new natural burial area, where grave markers have to be biodegradable. Transporting a body that had been in a car accident might be too much for some, Stout said. Unfortunately, not everyone dies peacefully in their sleep after 99 years, she said. Respect for the dead was also important, and the funeral organizer needed to be aware that whatever happened during the service would likely be remembered. The natural burial area under construction at Waikumete Cemetery, with room for 300 bodies. But there are people who are quite adamant that it is something they want to do on their own, and we want to encourage and help them on that journey just as we do with people who want to use funeral directors. Waikumete Cemetery also has a new native bush natural burial area under construction, a cheaper option than a standard plot. People who used it often opted for familial services. Waikumete Cemetery Open Day will be held on November 12, when its wildflowers are in bloom. The area was due to be finished in time for Waikumete Cemetery's open day on November 12. 8 plots had already been sold, and 3 people were already buried there. Stout said the free open day, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., was a good time for people to ask questions. About 2,000 people came to the last open day in February last year, she said. When you turn up to a cemetery, you are normally in a position that you are attending a death. It's not deemed a good time to be popping your hand up and be asking lots of questions. It was $4,133 for the cheapest standard plot at Waikumete Cemetery, plus $1,108 to dig the hole. Standard cremation was $589, plus $620 for the space to bury the ashes. In New Zealand, the average funeral costs between $8,000 and $10,000. Some funeral homes offer direct cremation options where no service is held. These cost just under $2,000. Stuff.